Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. I've got a little boogle in my lap. She's been out of her cage for, oh, good golly, Miss Molly, a couple minutes now. I've had her out running around. She's been on my lap or in my hands, just running around. She's a good little Hamatron. But by this time, she's ready to go back to her cage. So I'll just quickly get her up next to the camera so you all can see her, and then I'll get her into her cage. This is little Boogle. She's a biter, but she's also a little sweetheart. I have a little wooden house in her cage now. So she's got a really nice little wooden house sent to me by, my apologies, Justina Aquavita Metz. Thank you so very much. Now I've got a good thing for a little Boogle there to climb around on in her little cage. A very good thing. I have the parts not all in one piece as one set, but in smaller pieces and sets so that everyone gets a chance to play with it. So thumbs up on that. Not much has happened since yesterday. Hopefully that was in English. Since yesterday. In fact, very little has happened. I didn't even get out to go for a walk yesterday because it was raining again. And so that was just part of it. The other half was I kept falling asleep again here yesterday. Oh my gosh, I had a terrible headache yesterday. I don't know if it was just because I had a headache or if it was because I fell asleep. Because I have woke up with my head ringing, just my ears, just tinnitus loud, bang, because I had stopped breathing while I was asleep. And it is not just a strain on your heart, it is a terrible strain on your brain as well. You can have a stroke from stopping breathing, sleep apnea. After all, it can give you a heart attack. I keep harping on this one, but it's true. I mean, Carrie Fisher, 66 years old, she died because of her sleep apnea. Yes, her drug used from most of her life didn't help, but it was because of her sleep apnea that caused the strain that finally tripped because of the damage that she had had. If it hadn't been for the sleep apnea, she would have never strained her heart like that. So, yay. But yesterday, oh my gosh, it was a terrible, terrible headache most of the day. And I was still falling asleep through it. I mean, if you see somebody who's suffering from pain and you see them sleeping, you don't think, I mean, obviously you probably will, because I even had nurses that would think this sort of thing, where people would call for a pain pill in the middle of the night, and then she would wait an hour and then go in and go, well, she obviously didn't want her pain pill that much. She was asleep when I got there. It's like, well, you know, you can sleep from exhaustion. You sleep because you're exhausted. And that's going to happen whether you're suffering from pain or not. So, as a nurse, she should have known better. It was very irritating. But that's just very true. Someone can be sleeping in horrible agony, but they're not sleeping because they're comfortable. They are sleeping because they are exhausted. And your body's going to find time to sleep, whether you like it or not. Hence why I keep falling asleep in this chair here, even in the middle of I've fallen asleep while editing my videos, and then woke up an hour and a half later going, oh, whoa, what? Oh my gosh. And had to go from there. So it happens and can happen and does. So if somebody you know suffers from a chronic illness with pain and yet you still find them sleeping a lot, it's not because they're comfortable, it's just because they are exhausted. And you will sleep through almost anything if you are exhausted. Your body will shut down eventually. That's not a matter of being comfortable, that's just your body shutting down. So yay. Yeah, I've been dealing with that a lot. I woke from pain again this morning, but it was a much more comfortable waking, which was kind of nice. Normally I wake up just, it's like, well, pain. while you're sleeping, and then it wakes you up. But this was a much more gentle, instead of like being woke up in 5 minutes, it took like 15 minutes to slowly ease awake. That part was nice. The slow easing instead of the like short, sharp shock until you're awake. So that was good. So it's been kind of a nice morning so far. I'm hoping that I'm not going to get a repeat on the headache business. Could have been a couple of reasons for that one, actually. Part of it, actually, my apologies for the use of the word, overuse of the word actually there. But one of the things that it could be, and I'm not sure, because it was only like a difference of 12 hours, but caffeine withdrawal. I didn't drink any caffeine or even take a caffeinated tablet yesterday. I think I forgot to take one of those as well. But if I did take one and I still had the headache, then good golly, Miss Molly. Ah, my throat. My sincere apologies. I wish I could remember if I had taken any caffeine now. Because I honestly can't remember if I took a caffeine tablet. Because if I did and I still had the headache, then it obviously wasn't a caffeine withdrawal. So who knows what it might have been. Doesn't mean it has a reason just because it... I mean, obviously it has a reason. But it doesn't mean it has a reason that I will be able to determine. Since after all, a lot of things that happen in our bodies happens at the cellular and molecular level. And who and how can you trace that down? Especially for something like a headache. Thumbs up on that. So yeah, my life has not been exciting, and because of that, I don't even really have anything to talk about. I haven't really watched anything to form any opinions about the world. I haven't watched a whole lot of game videos. I mean, I've watched some game videos, and there are some games that I really want to get. And there is a weird video. Well, the video wasn't weird. It was a fine video. But there is the video game Dark Premonition. And then there's a board game based on the game Dark Premonition. And that's a really weird idea. So watched a few things like that, and that's interesting. I enjoy stuff like that because I like board games, and I like role-playing games. In fact, I was talking with my therapist about there's two comic book shops in Olympia, at least. These are the major ones, and one of them is actually, well, it's not a comic book shop. This one's a game shop. There's like two comic book shops and at least one game shop. And he suggested, go make a win out of this. Go to one of those game shops. You've enjoyed role-playing games in the past. Go to one of the game shops and look at the role-playing games. You've enjoyed collecting and reading comic books in the past. Go to the comic book store. And I forgot about that until just today. So I need to make it to Olympia, either before I make it to my therapist appointment or just on the same day as my therapist appointment. I'll probably end up doing it that way, since I'd have to leave today since my appointment's tomorrow. So I'll probably end up doing it tomorrow. And gosh darn it, I still haven't made it out to the Veterans Hub. So I'm going to have to do that tomorrow instead, and then hopefully make it out to the comic book shop or the game shop the next day. Good golly, Miss Molly. What plans we make. Social anxieties for the win. It's because of my fear of becoming a shut-in and becoming agoraphobic that I've pushed and got into the mental health care system at the VA again, and I'm now seeing a therapist because my social anxieties are not good. They're bad, and that's not good. And knowing that that's not good and not wanting to become a shut-in, that's why I pushed and entered the system, and now I'm going to be... Oh, I need to check on the date again. I got an appointment for getting back on medication for depression, and coupled with going to see the therapist, hopefully that will help. Nothing's going to be perfect. I've had counseling and I've been on medication my entire life at points on and off. So it's not going to heal me, but it's going to keep my boat floating here for a lot longer again. And that'll be good. When your mental boat has enough holes in it that it starts to sink, that's when you need to reach out, get help, to find somebody to help you pull the boat up and patch all the holes and get it so that your mental health floats on the sea of horrible things. Just like everybody else's boat. Something like that. Some analogy where your boat floating up there with everybody else's boats is good. So as opposed to having it sink into the sea of depression and stuff. You get it brought back up. Yay! It is a good thing though. As much as I tried to keep it light and fluffy, it really is a good thing, getting help. If you have an opportunity to ask for help, if you need help, please do so. Don't be afraid. Don't think to yourself, oh gosh, what if people know? Don't think to yourself, well, it doesn't matter if I do, nothing's going to change. Please don't do anything like that. If you need help and there is help available out there, reach out and please grab hold. It really does help. When you are in a depressed state and things are bad, you're not thinking clearly. You're not thinking properly. Your brain is not working the way it's supposed to. The decisions that you make, the conclusions that you come to are compromised because of that. There are all sorts of options and doors available that you literally cannot see just because of your depressed state. Please do not make decisions based on that. That's all on that one. Thumbs up. And it is a thing. It's a good thing, as stated. You gotta keep your head working, and you gotta keep your head working properly. So again, if you have that opportunity and you need it, please reach out and take it. It is a good thing. It's helped keep me alive throughout my life, and that's a plus. I enjoy metabolizing. I enjoy turning oxygen into carbon dioxide. I enjoy taking nutrients into my body and then excreting waste products. Not necessarily in the macro form either, you know, as a guy having to head off into the bathroom. Now, I also mean just on a cellular metabolic level, having your mitochondria chug away inside of your body. It's a good thing, definitely a positive. And it's amazing. One of those, I can't remember if it was the Kurzgesagt, one of the Kurzgesagt videos that talked about how hot mitochondria are. They run like incredibly, incredibly hot. Like, what was it? I think the video said it's like your mitochondria run at like 50 Celsius. Something along those lines. So that's why if a mouse was blown up to an elephant size, it would explode because of the one of the reasons being the mitochondrial output. And it's like, that's kind of amazing, just a thought, just that change of just size and all, where the mitochondria, because of the heat that they output. And it's, wow, talk about just bizarre right there. I never knew that the mitochondria just burst with that much heat. Amazing right there. I mean, it makes sense, really. All chemical reactions, just about every bloody thing, every single thing that happens in the universe creates waste heat. And waste heat, waste information is just, it's a horrible problem. I mean, heating is always a problem, and overheating on every system is, you got to get rid of all that waste heat, which is also waste information. Because remember, everything is also giving off information. Even just your body temperature in a room is information. Your body is telling the rest of the universe, I am here, this is my presence, this is my location. Constantly. Anything that has any sort of heat in it is giving off that information constantly. Is it good information? No, that's why it's waste information. Waste heat, waste information. Thumbs up on that. Everybody's science lesson. I have 1,000 little pieces of meaningless trivia I like to share. I like to learn more, but it's really difficult for things to move from my short-term memory into my medium term, then from my medium term into my long term. I love to learn little factoids and little pieces of information. Not factoid as in incorrect stuff. I mean factoid as in tiny fractured piece of information that is just semi-interesting on its own, but outside of the big picture, what does it mean? That's what I mean by factoid, no matter what the actual term is. But I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. If I mispronounce somebody's name while doing so, my apologies. I'm an American English speaker. We're not good at names. It's a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count ASL on the fingers of my hand right in front of my face, I still get lost. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward, but for right now, I'm thanking people for just having left a comment. So whether it's a good comment, bad comment, indifferent comment, thank you for having left a comment. But we have Netra Anonymous, thank you very, very much. And Northern Thunder, greatly appreciated. Tundra Keeper, thumbs up and thank you. Blitz Blast, thank you. Gaming with Purge Anarchy, thank you very, very much. Mott Rats, thank you. Princess Manson, thank you very, very much. Anthony Fernandez, greatly appreciated. Kathy Kits Cat, thank you. Nuclear Winter, thumbs up, thank you. Chris Jericho, greatly appreciated. Mrs. Jonathan's Wifey 26, son of a gun, thank you very, very much. Tony Richards, greatly appreciated. Dark Deuteronaji, I sure hope I'm close, thank you very, very much. And then there's Reese Emberly, greatly appreciated. Lenetic to Death. There we go. Sorry it was so hard for me to read. Thank you very, very much. And Phoenix Falls, greatly appreciated. Derek Vickers, thank you. J-Rock Vampire, thank you very, very much. The Dilda 4, thank you. Claude 5190, greatly appreciated. Trev with a Fez, thank you. Flood, I hope that's the way it's written with numbers and digits. Thank you very, very much. Fernando Guzman, thank you, greatly appreciated. And last but not least, Chen Masters, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you. As stated, you get me out of my head, into the real world, dealing with actual people. Thank you so very, very much. It is not a good landscape, mental landscape, behind these eyes and between these ears. Clinically depressed, bipolar disorder. My wife died 4 years ago. Her cat committed suicide 6 months after that. Then I lost my house and had to live in a garage with only running water and nothing else in it. So it's not a good mental landscape behind these eyes. So thank you very much. And thank you for coming along on this journey while I vlog. I talk about nothing in particular. Thank you very much for coming along on the ride with me. It is appreciated. If you could check out my links, that would be awesome. I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. That would be awesome if you could check those out. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people. That would be beautiful and awesome. I'm always skirting on the edge of financial ruin, so if you could help, that would be very, very cool. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes, deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very, very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a very good thing. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very, very cool as well. But I would understand if you don't want to. My personality has rubbed people wrong my entire life. So if you do not like my videos or you do not want to subscribe, I understand. But if you are down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. And yes, I've been on this one for a while, but I talk with my hands. There must be some Italian in my background. Yes, it's a stupid ethnic joke, but I don't know what my background is, literally. I only know that my grandparents on my mother's side emigrated to the United States from Scotland. So I know I've got some Scottish blood in me, at least 25% that way. But I don't know about the other half of her side. You know, you've got two halves, two families that make up one whole. I only know about one side. I don't know about the other. Who knows? Well, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that, my friend, is a very good thing. So thumbs up, and I will see you.